everybody? Welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the Resident Evil series trailer. Teaser, really. And it's now, not that long ago, maybe a year ago, it was announced that Netflix was working on three Resident Evil projects. Because I believe Netflix made the Welcome to Raccoon City movie, which I heard was awful. I didn't even bother going to see that movie because I heard it was so bad. And I was like, I'm not going to waste my money to go see this terrible, terrible Resident Evil movie. And also, they had that Resident Evil animated movie with Leon and Claire. But that movie was really, really bad. It was it was a show, but it was a movie. It was a movie that was just chopped up into a show. And it really, really wasn't that good. And it just really wasn't that good. And, you know, it just speaks of something that is so sad, really. The Resident Evil franchise is one of the greatest, the most iconic franchises in video games. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It revolutionized horror. You know, the entire horror genre in terms of video games. Survival horror was damn near built on the back of the Resident Evil franchise. And it has some iconic games in it. Obviously, the first game, obviously Raccoon City. The first three games are all pretty good. But then after that, you kind of get places, but Outbreak and things of that nature. You know, and then obviously the iconic, one of my favorite video games of all time, Resident Evil 4. Like, let's just be talking about the video game franchises and the ups and the downs. And right now it's on an up with the new, you know, Village and 7. Village and 7 were great to me. I love both of those games. So, like, you know, right now it's on an up and they're doing those remakes. And to me, it feels like it should be very easy to make a Resident Evil movie. And they tried to do it, you know, goodness gracious. With Mila I can't never say her name right, Alice or whatever. Like, they created an entirely new character for absolutely no reason. They didn't really need to create a new character. They could have just they could have just done the actual story from the video game and just did it. But they created a new character in Alice. And the first Resident Evil movie isn't that bad. I actually think it's a pretty good movie. All things considered, I think it's a decent movie, and it's a pretty good horror movie, actually. I think it's a pretty good, decent movie, a pretty good zombie movie. I enjoy the first Resident Evil. Second Resident Evil, I enjoy too, but for a totally different reason. I enjoy that one for its complete over-the-top, very cheesy, but still fun, cool action sequences. And like I said, it's completely over the top. It's completely out there. But I had a lot of fun with Resident Evil 2. You know what? I had a lot of fun with those first three movies. I don't think like outside of the first one, I don't think the other two are particularly that good. But I had fun with the first three Resident Evil movies. After that, it kind of goes completely off the rails, and it becomes a complete, utter, unwatchable piece of garbage. It's just what it becomes. And the thing about it is, the franchise is it kind of feels like this is something they can't get right. Now, this trailer comes out. We hear about this. We hear they're making a show. We hear that they I can't remember the actor's name, but he's the guy who plays he's in John Wick. He's in a ton of stuff. You've seen this guy before in a ton of stuff. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But when you hear who they got to play Wesker, you're like, okay, that's a change, because he's a very black, you know, he's a very chocolate man. He's a very dark skin. He usually wears glasses, but you know, look, when you hear who they got to play Wesker, you kind of go, okay, that's a different approach, but he can do it, you know what I mean? I can see him playing it from a different, like, he's just, you know, he's just a black man, but he can play it because he has that calm demeanor that a Wesker would have, so I'm like, okay, and I heard about that, and it gives me hope. But when you see this trailer, first of all, there's nothing about this at all that's Resident Evil. It's like, and I agree with some people who are saying this, it's typical Hollywood stuff. It's stuff that I feel like we've gone beyond. You know what I mean? Like it feels like we've gone beyond that. It feels like it's okay to embrace your source material. Like, it's okay that, like, to be like, for the, you know, it's okay to push towards the people who understand what you're making. You know what I mean? Like, you have movies like Uncharted and whatnot who are just like, who just like pay surface level fan service to the source material. And you got this show, which is essentially, first of all, from what I've heard, it's supposed to take place in the future in the video game timeline. Now, granted, you know, Wesker wasn't a black guy, but sub out Wesker for a black guy, and this takes place in the video game timeline. In the future, in the far future. And apparently in this future, Umbrella got away with what they were doing. Zombies are still rampant. Zombies are still a problem, but somehow there was a new city created. And it seems like the story is going to revolve around these two daughters. If you know the actor who they got playing Wesker, it's apparently Wesker settled down and had two daughters and moved to this city, and there might be more going on in this city, and this might be more going on in this city, and there's zombies on the outside of the city, and like maybe they grow up and it's clearly they're pitching this idea. The Umbrella won and basically took over at least this city, and have sort of rewritten history to people of how these zombies started and all this. And, you can kind of see, even in the trailer, you can kind of see the beats of what the show is going to be. And the thing is, the only thing that is Resident Evil about it is at a certain point a character's drinking, and the Umbrella Academy, Umbrella Corporation shows up on the side of the fucking drink. That's it. There is absolutely nothing Resident Evil about this. They literally took the name Resident Evil in name only, and they're doing their completely other thing with it. Which on one hand, I kind of understand. I've said it before. A lot of times you have to just do that. A lot of times. So many film people and people who want to work, who cry and bitch about not getting their stuff seen. It's you just have to do it inside of something else. You have to do what you wanted to do inside of the body of something that people actually want to see. If you want to get I wanted to do this crazy thing, and it's you could do it in your own little indie movie, but no one's really gonna see it. But if you could plop it, at least enough of it into this movie about a character people know, then cool. So I don't judge them too harshly for using the Resident Evil IP to doing a completely original thing. So okay, cool, you're doing a completely new thing. You're playing with the lore a little bit. But at the same time, I'm this isn't rocket scientist. For the life of me, I can't understand why no one can just make the Resident Evil. This is what you do, and I'm gonna lay it out flat right for you right now. If you want to make a Resident Evil show or a movie, either you make a trilogy or you make a show. You make a show. And you do it in the order of the first 3 games. It's pretty simple. You do it in the order of the first 3 games. Or you do it in the order of the first 3 games and you can tack in the 4th one on the end there if you want to. You do it in that order. You start off with the mansion, because it's a very simple premise. This group of badasses, the stars, are called in. We don't know why they were called in. They don't know why they're called in. You kind of start off. You just have fucking Chris and Jill hanging out, talking the shit. They get called in. Oh, what's going on? We're getting called in to go out to this mansion. We hear gunfire, craziness going on. They fly out there. A group of badasses go into this mansion thinking it's just a regular ass mansion. They're gonna find, maybe Spencer. Maybe Spencer dead somewhere around here. All these kind of things. Maybe we'll find this dude dead. Maybe we won't. Who knows? They go into this mansion and all hell breaks loose. And by the time the game wraps, and by the time the first season, and you got yourself a haunted house / zombie movie / mystery movie, because it's a haunted house because it's a huge ass mansion with many different things inside of it. Is slowly killing off the stars, and of course the only ones who survive are Chris and Jill, who figure out the mystery of this mansion. What's going on? Why are there zombies here? what's in the what's in the basement. And you know, like, that's how you play it. It's a very simple, the first Resident Evil is so fucking simple and so straightforward. Like, sure, there's craziness with all these fucking, you know, zombies and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty fucking straightforward. And it's something like you can really play with that, you know what I mean? You can like, that's the thing though. They have stuff like Haunting on Hill House and Haunting on Bly Manor and Sunday Mass. So like, they have horror stuff on, or scary, you know, horror stuff on there that takes their time. So I'm like, this could be a fun thing to kind of mix the jump and the gore and whatnot with also taking your time, because like, one of the great things about the more recent Resident Evil games is particularly 7 is and I will say in the remake of R2 is the constant fear of what you don't see. And there's something real fun to be had with them in this mansion, this big ass mansion, and they don't know what's in this mansion. Is there a zombie behind the corner? What's going on? Why are these zombies there? There's so much they can play with, and it for the life of me, it blows my skull that they haven't just straight up had an adaptation of the game. It's right there. Like, why not? It's so bizarre to me, really. And then clearly you wrap the first season up by answering that question. They figured it out, Jill. You know, Chris and Jill, and they thought they contained it. It didn't, and it got out. And then the second season is about Claire and Leon. Boom. And then the third season is it all comes together. You know what I mean? It's so fucking clear. It's so obvious. It baffles me how they haven't done this yet. And this new attempt at Resident Evil is the answer to their question. The answer to their Resident Evil problem is to just basically erase it. This isn't even like, oh, we're gonna make a prequel before Resident Evil. You're like, oh, okay, no. This is like, no, this is way in the future where all the stuff you actually wanted to see never didn't happen yet. And that's just, it's mind-blowing to me. It's mind-numbing to me. I don't know what Netflix is doing. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I'll watch the first couple episodes so that I can give you my impressions of it, but I'm highly disappointed. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Comic Game Movie Show. Please do like, subscribe, and are you going to see Netflix's Resident Evil? I will watch the first couple episodes, but that's just me biting that bullet for you guys. Anyways, thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.